Yo, what is the deal, everybody? What is the deal? Welcome to another Raider Nation Unlimited. I'm your man, Wasted Talent, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I know this one came out of nowhere, but you know what? I felt like talking a little Raider football, man, before I freaking watch this Shakur fight, man. Then I'm going to go head over to my homie's house. You know what I mean? Go check the fight out. You know what I mean? But shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Yo, shout out to my man, 50 grand, Raider Rebel, man. My dog, Herman Munster's in a place, man. Where you been, my dog? The Juice, Huey P. 2905. My brother, William Vinoy Jr. is in a place, man. Michael Says is in a place, man. DeMarcus High Stakes Webbs. Yes, one of the mod gang himself, my guy, Raider Rothschild. Yes, sir, man. Billy Davis is in the place. JJ Garcia, Anthony Miss Nasty B himself is in the place. Yo, Patrick B is in the place, man. Raider Junkie Cisco is in here, man. Cisco Duarte is in here, man. Ben Bad is in the place, man. Raider Fresh, Fox Pack. Oh, my God. East Coast Gridiron. Yo. Franklin, High Stakes Skinner, and Ty Davis, my brother, man. Yeah, you damn right. Old man Wasted to play. 10 man is in here, man. We got almost 100 in the room. Get wasted with your brother Wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Share this thing out over all social media. I mean, my God, we got our people in here over Twitter too, man. It is the most splendiferous occasion. 9:30 at night on the East Coast, 6:30 on the West Coast, if you keep in tab. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. It's been a lot of disrespect in the media this week, man. I've been noticing, man. I want to talk about it, man. It kind of got on my nerves, man. I was sitting up there reading some articles, man. I've been, pretty busy. Haven't been really rocking on the air, man. We got over 100 in the room, so now we got to get started, man. Y'all already know, man. That's right. My guy, Area 51. The disrespect is a product of fear, yo. You damn right. Everybody's afraid, bro. Everybody's afraid. And you know what? We got to give them something to be afraid about. Now, there have been a lot of rankings around the league. There's been, people talking about Christian Wilkins. And you know what? We're going to get into that. We're going to get into that right now. Now, I don't know if you guys have been following Hard Knocks. Some people might. Us Raiders fans, a lot of times we try to pay attention to what's going on in the league, but sometimes we just don't give a good goddamn about any other team. We only care about our team, right? But this was a little funny to me, man. This was a little funny for me, man. Now, the Giants, as you guys all know, have been a veritable dumpster fire. A veritable dumpster fire, man. What the F is going on here? The F. Thank you. But yeah, the Giants head of scouting said that he doesn't think that Christian Wilkins is a difference maker on third down, man. It's baffling to me that he would say this, man. But, I saw it, so I'm going to read this for you, man. This year's Hard Knock features the New York Giants, and the first episode aired Tuesday night and jumped right into free agency. One of the top priorities for the Giants front office was adding some pass rush to go alongside nose tackle Dexter Lawrence, which is Christian Wilkins' college teammate and one of his best friends. This led to the top free agent defensive tackle, Christian Wilkins, who was a friend of Lawrence, which led to the Giants' director of pro personnel scouting, Chris Rosetti, to give his opinion on a potential move. He didn't seem to be a fan of it. He says, I don't think he's a difference maker of a pass rusher on third down. We need opposite of Dex, said Rosetti. He said, but he's a really good football player who will do well for himself. Now, needless to say, we know how well Christian Wilkins did for himself, man. He had a $110 million deal, 5 years. And the first statement kind of perked my ears up, man. And let me tell you why this guy doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Now, see, guys, we got to be really, really careful of these people around the league who hold jobs, who don't know what the hell they're doing, bro. Now, Christian Wilkins had 5.5 sacks on third down. In addition to those 27 pressures on third down, man, this guy, as far as defensive tackles and a three-point stance, led on sacks on third downs, man. He was only behind Aaron Donald and Quinnen Williams when it comes to pressures on third down, man. I mean, this is a critical error made by a guy who is running a team in the most major media market. And it goes to show me, man, that Tom Telesco, Champ Kelly, and the guys we got in the building know what they're doing. I don't see how anybody can watch Christian Wilkins play and say that he's not a difference maker on third down. I mean, it's unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable, man. And the crazy thing that kills me is that Wilkins was tied for second amongst pressures for defensive linemen with Quentin Williams. It's unbelievable, man. And to be honest with you, man, I hope Christian Wilkins completely whips ass. Now, there's enough disrespect to go around. Wait a minute. Yo, Ben Bad. Shout out to Ben Bad. He had better stats than Chris Jones and was rated higher than Max on third down. I mean, what the F are they talking about? What the F are they talking about, man? Wait, hold on. My guy, Raider Parley, man. Still watching your show, OG, while I'm in the hospital with my son. Always, bro, there are way more important things in this show, bro. God bless you. God bless your son, man. I hope everything is cool. I hope you guys leave out of there in better condition than you're there. Shout out to my guy, Raider Parley, man. My God, man, I hope everything's okay, man, if y'all in the hospital, man. I appreciate you pulling up, my brother. Wow, man. Raider Deb, I never listens to ass height critics. They will always have hate for the Raiders, and they will never be happy to give our boys credit. Now, I've been noticing that, Raider Deb, and I'm going to get into this. That's what this whole episode is about, man. This whole episode is about disrespect. My man DeMarcus Webb sending prayers up to Raider Parley, man. Anthony sending prayers up, man. Yo, we got some live content, man. Y'all already know, man. Now, there's been a lot going around the league, man. The Raiders received some head-scratching offseason grades as well, man. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, man. The Raiders, when giving, an offseason grade by, Frank Schwab, seems to have straddled the line in between absurdity and just pure hate. He gave the Raiders an offseason grade of a C-. Schwab praised the addition of defensive tackle Christian Wilkins. However, he says, other than Kirk Cousins, no free agents switched teams this offseason got a bigger contract. He goes, they're sticker shock with his 4-year, $110 million deal. But he's a high character player with a first-round draft pedigree who's proven against the run in the past. The price was really, really high, but the Raiders got a good player. Schwab then seen, and this is coming from an article from the Heavy, you know what I'm saying, and Las Vegas News on SportsIllustrated.com. But let me get into the article, man. Schwab seemed to simultaneously criticize and praise the Raiders for their offseason moves. Notably, he criticized the Raiders for not taking a quarterback in the 2024 draft, a move that has been an unnecessary risk, he said. Now, let me be honest with you, man. A lot of people are criticizing the Raiders over something that they had really no control over. You could not move up unless other teams wanted you to move up, and you don't just draft a quarterback for the sake of drafting a quarterback. You never do that. I'm actually glad that the Raiders did what they did. If they felt compelled to say that, Michael Penix, and I don't want to get back into this. We talked about this. We beat this to death ad nauseum around the draft time. If the Raiders felt like Michael Penix Jr. was their guy, or if they felt like Caleb Williams or Jaden Daniels was their guy, right? You have to have a team that is willing to play ball with you. The Washington Commanders were not willing to play ball with the Raiders. They wanted Jaden Daniels. The Chicago Bears wanted Caleb Williams. That was it. And guess what? The Atlanta Falcons did something that no one thought they would do after signing Kirk Cousins, and they drafted Michael Penix Jr. what they did. So after that, if you only felt there were 3 draftable quarterbacks in this draft, I prefer the Raiders to go best player available. I love what they did. I love what they did. At the time, I was just hurt because of the fact that we didn't get our guy. But look, what the hell do you want them to do? So what you do is you roll with the rookie from last year who had the second best statistical year behind C.J. Stroud and Aidan O'Connell. He's a guy that's a 4th-round pick. He's a high reward, low-risk guy. I don't understand what they're talking about. I don't understand what they're talking about. Schwab wrote that the Raiders got plenty of good players in the offseason, like Cody Whitehair and Drew Pete, Pro Bowl caliber veterans, linebackers that are still in Eckenberg. But he says when it comes to the long-term answer at quarterback, potentially they might have one at Aidan O'Connell, but he hasn't proven himself. And for that reason, we got to give him a C-. Now, look, man, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Aidan O'Connell has a lot to prove. We know that. We all see that. But at the end of the day, man, if you can say that what the Raiders did is a C- as an offseason, I think that is just egregious. So people are penalizing the Raiders for not reaching and going out there and getting a quarterback that they probably don't believe in. Moving up to get a guy that they didn't feel was fit to lead this team. I mean, and at this point for me, when I see Aidan O'Connell, I see the way he's been taking control of this offseason. I'm hearing great things about Aidan O'Connell. I would much rather put my eggs in a basket of a guy who's already started, a guy I have tape on, a guy that's made strides exponentially last year, right? As opposed to me going out and moving in and taking Bo Nix or taking, just a guy I just don't believe in. It's unbelievable. Let me get some of these comments, man. My guy, Cisco Duarte, man. He goes, we're making the playoffs this year. We're sweeping the Donkeys and Chargers, splitting with the Chiefs again and winning 11 games total. Wild card, bro. Now, listen, from your lips to God's ears. But listen, let me tell you something, Cisco. The Broncos thing. Now, we've kind of owned the Broncos lately. But they have a better coach. They brought some quarterback help in. They should be a better team, right? I don't count on ever sweeping everybody in your division. With the Chargers, I think a lot of us are forgetting that the Chargers, at the end of the season, that fresh can that we opened up on the Chargers was against a backup quarterback. We have to keep that in context. We're also playing the Chargers week 1. They're never going to be healthier than they are week 1. So understand that, right? Now, I think we can go in there and get the victory. That'll go a long way with AP and this regime kind of turning things around and showing that the year is going in an upward trajectory. But you can never count on sweeping the people in your division. Would it be nice? Hell yeah, right? But you can never count on that. And I see the Raiders, have a really, really rough road to hoe, man. And I saw an article today about the starting quarterbacks that the Raiders are going to face this year. And let me tell you something, man. It's a very daunting schedule that the Raiders are going to face this year. Daunting. I mean, besides, Patrick Mahomes, facing him twice and facing Justin Herbert twice, the Raiders, probably the worst quarterback that they're going to be facing is the last year's number 1 pick, Bryce Young. This year the Raiders are facing, or actually Derek Carr. Derek Carr and Bryce Young are probably the worst quarterbacks going to be facing this year. They're going to be facing Baker Mayfield this year. They're going to be facing Justin Herbert. They're going to be, listen, man, the Raiders, man, they're going to be facing Joe Burrow this year. The Raiders are going to be facing Lamar Jackson, last year's league MVP, Deshaun Watson, right? Now, we got to see if Deshaun Watson kind of rounds into form of what he once was. But, the Raiders have a daunting task this year, man. A daunting task. And I'm hoping that this defense is up for the challenge, man. Shout out to everybody in the room. Shout out to my guy, Rated Dangerfield. We got almost 300 in the room. Get wasted with your brother wasted. If we had reached for a QB in the draft, the media would be blasting us for reaching for a player that hadn't played one snap in the NFL. Dan, if we do, Dan, if we don't. And see, I'm going to be honest with you. That's most of the reason why I don't really get too deep into the media cycle. First and foremost, a lot of the people in the media don't really know the Raiders. They don't know the Raiders and they don't really watch the league. And if you have guys like this guy from the New York Giants. It's no way that this guy could watch professional football and say that getting Christian Wilkins is bad on third down. I don't understand how he can watch Christian Wilkins and say he doesn't make an impact on third down. I can't understand it, man. Shout out to my brother. My brother, Halo Raiders in the place, man. Shout me, where you been, bro? Yo, hit my line, bro. Where you been, brother? God damn, man. Shout out to my bro, Halo Raider, man. Raider Dev. So I'm happy with who we got. I'm all about who we got in the draft. They're so down. This is some different-ish this season. There is much love and drive for the future. It hasn't been this way in hella long. Shout out to Raider Dub. You damn right, yo. Shout out to my guy Jamba Juice in the place, man. The Browns are a tough team. I'll give you that. Yes. Yes, the Browns are a tough football team, whether they have Deshaun Watson playing or not. The Browns are a tough football team. Now, we'll probably, it depends on if Bo Nix wins the job, Wilson, whatever. But, yo, the Raiders, man, let me tell y'all something, man. We have a daunting task, man. Daunting task. Let's go over the Raiders schedule. Let's go over the Raiders schedule this year, man. Let me tell y'all something, man. Let me tell y'all something, man. Hold on. All right. So starting off the season, we face the Chargers. Justin Herbert, week 1. Week 2, it gets even better. We face the league MVP, week 2. Lamar Jackson. Week 3, hopefully we can fatten up a little bit, go out there and abuse Bryce Young, right? Week 4, at Allegiant Stadium, Cleveland Browns, Deshaun Watson coming back in, being in the system another year, probably healthy. If Deshaun Watson goes back to form, it's a tough game, man. Then we play the Broncos. It all depends. We might have a rookie starting. That might be a good one we can fatten up on, right? It might be. It might be. Hopefully. That's how I'm looking at it, man. Hopefully. Bo Nix isn't what the Broncos think. We can go out there and kind of eat a little bit, right? Right? Then after that, play former league Super Bowl MVP, Russell Wilson. Now, we don't know what Russell Wilson has left in the tank. I'll give you that. So that might be one. The Pittsburgh Steelers are always a great football team. You know what I mean? They're very well coached. You got Mike Tomlin over there. Oh, then you got week 7, October the 20th, at the Los Angeles Rams. Matthew Stafford is one of the league's very, very best. October the 27th, right before Halloween, Chiefs at home. November the 3rd, Browns. Not Browns, but the Bengals. Then week 10, we got a bye week. November the 17th, we play Tua turn the ball over down in Miami, though. And that's a tough game down in Miami. It's always a little warm down there, but it is around November. Then, right around Thanksgiving, Broncos again. You know what I mean? Get a little home cooking versus the Broncos. Hopefully we can go on a little run there. November the 29th, at Kansas City and Arrowhead. December the 8th, we face Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield's been cooking, man. Baker Mayfield has been balling, man. You can't sleep on Baker. December the 16th, versus the Atlanta Falcons at home. We're going to be facing Penix and or Kirk Cousins. December the 22nd, we'll be facing Sunshine, Ronnie Bass, your boy. Your boy Trevor Lawrence. A lot of people say he's overrated. I think Trevor Lawrence is a very talented quarterback. And then December the 29th, we will be facing Derek Carr, man. Week 17 and week 18 to be determined versus the Rams. So look, let me tell y'all something, man. Shit is going to get way, way real this year, man. We got almost 300 in the room. Get wasted with your brother wasted, man. Showing thoughts. Raiders are getting the rep for being a bad run football team, makes dumb decisions. We on some new-ish, but we're going to have to punch the league in the mouth to prove it, yo. Shout out to you, man. Yo, did you see that Path to the Draft documentary on MJ Devonshire? So what do you think of him? Do you think he makes the roster? Yes, I think he makes the roster. I don't know if he turns out great yet, but I love MJ Devonshire. MJ Devonshire is a kid, man, who, if he did nothing else, man, he has a freaking nose for the football. Interceptions, picking up fumbles and stuff. He just knows how to make plays on the ball. A little undersized, but I like him, man. Love the kid, man. I definitely think he's going to make the team, man. Yo, and shout out too, man. Shout out to everybody bringing this up, yo. It kind of rocked me to my core, man. Today, man, shout out to Khyree Jackson, man. Kid out of Oregon, drafted by the Minnesota Vikings, died today with, 2 of his friends in an automobile accident, man. Just horrible, man. Kid didn't get a chance to play NFL snap. This is a kid who came out of Alabama, transferred. Was a guy that I was really, really high on coming out of the draft. And it's just a very, very sad situation. I really don't know what to say, man, because, when you see how fragile life is, man, and then If you have children that are older, like myself, that are driving age, and hanging out with their friends and stuff, and that's just the worst case scenario, man. And you see a kid who just had everything, in front of him, man. And it's just so sad, man. Shout out to his family, man. Rest in peace. We're gonna give him a moment of silence. Tragic loss. I know it has nothing to do with Raider football, but sometimes things are bigger than football, and this is definitely bigger than football. Nothing's bigger than death. Nothing's bigger than that. And I take it real seriously, man. It's so sad, man. So let's give him a quick moment of silence, man. And rest in peace, Khyree. Rest in peace, brother. Rest in peace, man. Life is short, man. Like my man Ben Bass say, man. Like you said, man. Yo, life is short, man. You gotta enjoy the ride, man. That's why one of the things that I love about what I do, here Raider Nation Unlimited, man. This is a passion of mine. This is something that I'm gonna be honest with you, man. It's been something that my middle aged life it's been a really great thing, man, because I get to talk to the nation every day. You know what I mean? I'm always in the East Coast, so I don't always get a chance to do that, man. This community that we've curated here, man, has been really it's been very impactful in my life. I'm so glad I get a chance to do this with all of you guys, man. Rest in power, man. My guy, Demokes, man, with the first super of the day, man. Shout out to you, man. Very unpopular opinion. Jim and Justin are the Walmart version of Carr and Gruden. Tired of the media glazing them every year and get mad when they fall apart. Now, look, bro, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if they're the Walmart version because, Justin Herbert is infinitely more talented than Derek Carr. He is. He's infinitely more talented than Derek Carr. He has a higher ceiling. He just a better player, man. So I can't say that. And Jim Harbaugh has won on every level. So he's not a Walmart version of anybody. That is a formidable team. Look, my fandom, look, do I hope that you're right? Do I hope that they're terrible? Yeah, man. But, I'm not going to let my fandom get in the way of logic. The Chargers are for real, and they're going to be for real because I know everywhere Jim Harbaugh has been impactful. I'm not going to sit up here and act like Justin Herbert is not one of the better young quarterbacks in this league. I'm not going to sit up here and act like Jim Harbaugh is going to make the same mistakes that Brandon Staley made. We're not going to do that. We're going to have to beat them, bro. That's a talented team over there. Just understand that and know that, man. Understand that and know that, man. My guy, Lance Smith, if the Ravens have a subpar season with all the playoff woes that Lamar Jackson has had, any chance you think the Raiders could pick up Lamar Jackson? No. I don't think Lamar Jackson's going anywhere. Lamar Jackson is one of the most talented quarterbacks in this league. He gets paid a whole hell of a lot of money. He got his money. The Ravens are committed to Lamar Jackson. I don't think Lamar Jackson's going anywhere. And to be honest with you, I think, the Raiders would probably go out and get a guy that's a lower rung, not a lower rung, but a guy. I think there's more chance that the Raiders might get a guy like Geno Smith if they felt so compelled, or they would draft their guy. I'm going to be honest with you. The Harbaugh signing reminds me of what Schottenheimer took over for the San Diego Chargers when they had Breeze. Watch out. No, that's a fact. Jim Harbaugh, he goes, look, everywhere he goes, they turn it around and they win. And until I don't see that happening, I'm going to give Jim Harbaugh his credit. Higher ceiling of what? 0 playoff wins and how many? Bro, you act like the most. You act like Justin Herbert's been in the league for like 8 or 9 years, bro. This kid just got drafted a couple of years ago, man. Are you crazy? Like, bro, you listen, bro. Look, we're not gonna do that, bro. Look, I'm not gonna sit up here and act like, I'm some big Justin Herbert fan, bro. But stop it, bro. Stop it. Stop it, bro. Please stop. Please, bro. Please don't compare this guy to DC, bro. DC's not our quarterback no more. Let's be real. I'm on here to give you information, not affirmation, bro. Justin Herbert is a better player, bro. The guy was drafted in 2020. He played 15 games, 17, 17, and 13. He got hurt last year. 31 touchdowns, 10 picks. His first year in the league. 38 touchdowns, 15 picks. 25 and 10 in 2022, and 20 and 7. He missed the last 4 games of the season, right? So this guy's only been in the league for 4 years. Man, he's going into his 5th year, bro. Stop it, bro. Stop, man. This guy's throwing for 4,000 yards every year except last year. Threw for 5,000 yards, bro. Fucking guy threw for 5,000 yards. 65% completion, 68% completion, 66% completion percentage. Man, what are we talking about here? What like, come on, DeMokes. Don't do that, bro. The issue with the Chargers was Brandon Staley. Singularly. He really was the problem, bro. Bro, look, man, I don't want to hear all of that. He had a way better defense. Listen, bro, that man threw for 5,000 yards. He threw for 5,000 yards, bro. There's not too many people in the history of this league that have done that. He threw for 5,000 yards in his second year in football, bro. Stop. Still, like, bro, I look, I don't know how many years Derek Carr has thrown for 30 touchdowns, man. Let's look Derek Carr's numbers, man. I'm not narrative-based content, bro. I don't want to talk about DC. He's not our quarterback anymore. You know what I'm saying? And when he comes back, I'll give him his credit. He's been a great Raider. But that guy, don't sit up here and compare that guy to Herbert, bro. Herbert's not like, come on, bro. Derek Carr's career high in touchdowns is 32. 21, 32, 28, 22, 19, 21, 27, 23, 24, 25. Cut it out, man. Cut it out. Thrown for 4,000 yards a couple of times in his career. About 4 times in his career. You know what I'm saying? Like, Justin Herbert already has done things in this league that Derek has never done. Cut it out, bro. Cut it out, bro. My God, Demos, I'm not even a Car Glazer. I was over him since 2017. I'm just saying, Al Davis bench plucking 1 year after winning the Super Bowl. Bro, yeah, okay. But I'm just letting you know, bro, Herbert is for real, bro. I'm not no big fan of his. I can't stand the kid because he's a Charger, but he's for real, and we're going to have to deal with that, bro. Mondo Ray, what it is, man. For real. Give talent his credit. Justin is a talented QB. The Chargers as a team will always choke. We will all have taken that dude last year on this team. Let's be for real. That's what I'm talking about, bro. That's what I'm talking about, bro. Like, let's stop it, man. Raider Dangerfield. When they had Rivers and Breeze, they still couldn't get it done with the coaches they had. Still not gonna say a good shit about the Chargers until they get to the dance. It don't matter who the coach. Raider Dangerfield. Listen, bro. At the end of the day, bro, when LaDainian Tomlinson and Phillip Rivers was there, and when Breeze was there, they were kicking our heads in. And they were 14-2, and they was in the playoffs every fucking year. They didn't get to the Super Bowl and win it, but we weren't beating them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, that's these guys are in our division, bro. These guys are in our we have to go through them. Jim Harbaugh is a damn good coach. And I'm gonna tell you something, bro. Look, do I think we made the right decision hiring Antonio Pierce? I was the king champion of that. Do I have a belief in his defense? Yes, I do. Do I feel like, from the trenches on out, that this team is a team that is going to contend and we're going to be a problem for teams in our division? Yes. But don't sit up here and act like Jim Harbaugh and Justin Herbert is nothing. Let's not do that, yo. Let's not do that, man. Let's not do it. You know what I'm saying? But we're not going to get into it. So let's get into more disrespect. Let's get into some more disrespect, man. The NFLPA gave out grades from players around the league, man. The Raiders 2024 report card, man. Out of all 32 teams, man, the Raiders were ninth. So let's go into some of the grades for the Raiders, man. Out of 32 teams, treatment of families, C+. Now you guys got to realize something. This was voted on when Josh McDaniels was still a coach, right? So we got to keep that in mind. I thought that they were talking about Antonio Pierce, but it was when Josh McDaniels was the coach. So they were 12. Food and cafeteria, B+. Nutritionist and dietitian, A-. Locker room, A-. Training room, B+. Training staff, B. Weight room, A+. Strength coaches, A-. Team travel, C. Head coach, D. Ownership, B+, man. Now, when they say treatment of families, they provide a family room in the stadium. They provide daycare and game day. Most players would like to see improvements centered around the game day experience. They wanted their family members to receive pregame field passes and would like for them to be able to join them after the game as well. Now, we all know that, the Death Star is a place that is premium real estate. There's a lot of expensive tickets there. I'm sure that the Raiders accommodate the players as best they can. But the main thing that was crazy to me was the coach, man. Now, I don't know, man. They say the players gave former head coach Josh McDaniels the lowest head coaching score in the league. Only 39% of the players feel like Josh McDaniels was efficient with their time, 32nd overall. He was also ranked least likely to be listened to in any NFL locker room. And to provide some context for the dip last year, Josh McDaniels received an average score compared to the other head coaches in the league. The Raiders would have ranked in the top 5 overall in this year's rankings had it not been for Josh McDaniels. So when I first saw this, I thought it was going to be over Antonio Pierce, but I stand corrected. Listen, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I should have read that more because I was like, how in the hell could you disrespect AP, man? My God, man. My God. And then we're going to get back to a little bit more disrespect. The F is going on, man. I'm moving all around. Wait, fans, a goddamn A+. That's right. Best fan base ever, man. My guy, Cisco Duarte. I want a hardball, but he didn't want to be a Raider. See, bro, this is the thing, man. I don't know necessarily that he didn't want to be a Raider. I just think that the decision was made for Mark Davis. I think Mark Davis was not going to go and make the same mistake that he made with Rich Bisaccia. He would have had a freaking mutiny on his hands. You got one of the best defenders in the league, Max Crosby. To me, a top 3 guy at his position. When you start talking about, the TJ Watts of the world, TJ Watt's a guy who gets disrespected a lot, man. It's crazy, man. This guy's got the best numbers out of everybody. He gets disrespected. Max gets disrespected too. Myles Garrett, Max, TJ Watt are the guys that I think at that position. And Nick Bosa's right there with them guys. And also, Micah Parsons. I got to give him his credit. But I think that these other guys are on another level, man. That's right. It's Disrespect Saturday. Disrespect. The Big Valboski. Why are you reading all this ish? If you know it's under McDoofus, it's not hate, it's the truth. I'm reading it because it's my show and I want to, Big Valboski. And I thought they were talking about AP. God damn it. You want a show and not Valboski? What the F? The F is going on, Big Valboski. You want to talk Raider football or not? Shout out to the Big Valboski, man. Oh, my. Yeah, my guy, Lance Smith. I love AP. He's brought us some big-time support, and the players love playing for him. That's big for a head coach. Now, this is the thing, man. Antonio Pierce has to show and prove, too. He's got to show and prove, man. He's got to show and prove. I think the Chargers game is huge, man. Now, it's not going to make or break the entire season, but I'll tell you what, man, getting a divisional win week 1, doing what the Raiders need to do right off the bat, sending the season in a proper trajectory is going to be huge for Antonio Pierce. You got, a new head coach over there with the Chargers. You have a head coach who coached last year. I think we got a little advantage in that way. But, getting that win out of the way, these division wins every week is going to be crucial for the Raiders because of the division that we're in. It's a very competitive division, and we have a hellacious schedule this year. We really do. We have the fourth, hardest schedule in the league. And you got a lot of guys that are coming back healthy. Joe Burrow will be healthy next year. You know what I mean? That's big. You got Baker Mayfield, another year in the system down there. Baker was cooking last year. Trevor Lawrence is coming off an injury, has a lot to prove. Deshaun Watson, another year in that system. A lot to prove. These are all very talented quarterbacks we're going against. And I hope that this defense gels together and is able to knock some of them guys out. Sarah H., I was fully a get off my lawn there. You're damn right. You were damn right. My opinion. Baker sneaky. You damn right, man. Sean, you don't get Jim when you finally start building the Raider way, like AP and the crew started last year. Maybe AP fails, but you got to give it to him, bringing us back to our roots. No, you definitely do. You definitely do. But what I'm telling you is that AP has a lot to prove. Look, you guys know I championed the hire AP thing. I didn't want Jim Harbaugh. I didn't want all of that hokey pokey shit. I wanted the real. I want us to be the Raiders, man. I'm sick of us going out there trying to, be someone else. Look, if we can't win doing shit our way, then I don't want to win, bro. It's a reason why all of us are fans of the Raiders. Some of us geographically became fans of the Raiders. Some of us have became fans of this team because of our families. Some of us became fans of this team because we love the swagger and the image, right? And some of us are fans because of all of that. All of that, right? There's one team that has a mystique that none other has, and it's us. We are unique to every other team in professional sports almost. And somewhere inside of the players in his locker room, that has to come back. Because then it's no fun. I don't want this homogenized version of the Raiders, man. I love the AP's our coach, man. No bullshit. My guy, my opinion. I just want to win. I don't give a damn about anything else. And that's factual, bro, right? But to me, I care, bro. I care about the way the Raiders get things. I care. I care that we do things the way we used to. I care that our guys are the renegades. I give a shit. I want us to win too, but I didn't want us to win the Josh McDaniels. Listen, I sold out because like anytime we bring anybody in, me as a fan, I'm going to support them 100%. There's a lot of people who try to take me to task because I supported Josh McDaniels. But what do you want me to do? Do you want me to go there and sub? I had people that was, rooting against the team. You got guys that if a quarterback leaves, they go and they start rooting for them. That ain't me, man. I'm always going to support this team, no matter what. And I don't give a damn. You can sit up here and try to pull that up and put that in my face now. I don't care, bro. I want a good year too, but I want us to talk our shit, smoke our shit, and win games like the Raiders, man. Franklin Skinner. Even Loudmouth Kelsey saw firsthand and admitted we were back to the old Raider way. And that's it, man. That's how it's got to be. That's how you win in this league, man. Actually, the Raider way is the way you win. Defense, being physical, not taking any shit, being intense and physical. That's how you win. This new school football shit is great for some people. It's great. It is great for some teams. But for us, that ain't it, man. Smash mouth football. That's right. My man Big John hit it on the nose. Like AP said, I don't want to be like. I want to be respected. And for me, respect is non-negotiable. And that shit has been coming in short order around Raider Nation the last 20 years. I want people to fear the Raiders when we get off the bus. The F I'm talking about, man. Commitment to excellence. Happy posthumous birthday to the great, late, great Al Davis. Al Davis's birthday is on the 4th of July. Al Davis and the owner of one of my other favorite teams, the Yankees, were both born on the 4th of July. George Steinbrenner. Rest in peace to both legends, man. If we would have won under McDaniels, the narrative would have been different. The Raiders run the Patriots way. Look, bro, AC Ybarra, if I'm being honest, right? I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth, right? I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth, right? But at the end of the day, something about the McDaniels thing, once it got going, it just didn't feel like us. It didn't feel like us, man. You got guys like Max Crosby, tattoos everywhere, wild ass, Nate Hobbs. All of these players, man, these guys are Raiders, bro. These dudes are Raiders through and through, man. You're not going to, that whole uptight way of doing things, man, that shit is dead. The Patriot way is trying to become an owner of our team. It's Tom Brady. The Patriot way don't work without Tom Brady. It don't. It don't. It didn't feel authentic. It didn't feel us. If I'm being honest, and I'm glad that we've moved on. Like my guy said, man, it felt recycled. We came out wearing black. Our opponents leave black and blue. The Raider way, that's right, man. It's like a zombie virus can't get right. You damn right. Like, listen, man, and all of the cheating, man, I really don't give a damn. Look, Al Davis said this up. You ain't cheating, you ain't trying, right? It was the Raider way before, way before it was the Patriot way. And that's a fact. And Ben Bad always said that, right? But see, the thing about it is that there's a difference between gamesmanship, stick 'em, and all and out just not having any integrity at all, right? The Patriots, it's just some of the things that they did. It was like systematically cheating, bro. It just seemed like they were like stealing the answers to the exam. You know what I mean? Just stealing the answers all the way through. It's just something that just I don't know, man. I guess what, as a sports as a sports fan, we want to believe that this is as legitimate as possible, right? Sometimes it's not always that way, y'all. It's not always that way. Now, guys, look, I want to get into a few things before I get off the air, right? Shout out to chat. Salute to the 300 people in the room, and 350 people in the room, man. The 350 people. I can't believe you guys are rocking with me on a Saturday night, man. I mean, where would you rather be, right? There ain't nothing out here in these streets, man. Hang out with your brother Wasted and stay safe, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Man, Wasted, I once said, what if the plan was to run the Raiders into the ground from the beginning? Mike Parker, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I really don't think that they sent Josh McDaniels here to run the team into the ground, bro. Like, there's only 32 jobs in this league. The man ruined his reputation around this league. He will never get another head coaching job in the NFL in life. That chapter is done. He is essentially Norv Turner. He has now shit the bed twice. His credibility will never, like, no owner in their right mind will hire that guy. No owner in their right mind. And I understand what Mark was trying to do. I get it. I understand, right? Because, Sanjeev said something that was very, very poignant to me, and I tend to agree with him. When you start talking about quarterbacks and players and offenses and stuff like that, the most important thing is the play caller. A lot of the times people talk about, quarterbacks, right? But all of these quarterbacks, right? There are a lot of talented guys in this league, right? A lot of talented guys in this league. The difference between them getting to the next level a lot of times is the guy that's calling the plays and designing the offense. Look at Tua Tagovailoa before Mike McDaniels and after. Look at a guy who was Mr. Irrelevant in Brock Purdy. He was the last pick in the draft. If this guy ever wins a Super Bowl, they're going to make movies about this guy. Like that's improbable. Kyle Shanahan is such a genius. He's able to take Mr. Irrelevant and go to a Super Bowl with this guy. Kyle Shanahan went to a Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo, right? So then you look at Patrick Mahomes. Does Patrick Mahomes' career, how does his career look without Andy Reid? How does it look? I'm going to be honest with you, man. I understand, hearing the narrative that McDaniels is this genius and going and seeking that. hoping that you can strike some of that Brady lightning in the bottle, right? Because if you look at Brady in the modern era of football has been the most successful player in this era. Now, there are a lot of different caveats to that. Lawrence Taylor spoke on this. He said, when they asked him who's the GOAT at quarterback, he took Joe Montana. And he was like, Brady didn't get hit. Never gets hit. You can't touch him. Brady probably would have been, if Brady played in the 80s and the 90s, he wouldn't have played until his 40s. He'd have been out of the league. He'd got hit. He'd have been forced to retire. He got beaten in retirement, right? So, I got to give LT, his respect, as one of the great players ever, right? But I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of these guys that they that we see here, these guys are made by the play caller. Look at Sean McVay with freaking, and I'm not saying that Sean McVay made Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford is a guy who has a humongous pedigree in this league, great arm. But Matthew Stafford, this guy went to the Super Bowl with Jared Goff, Matthew. It doesn't matter. So I understand the ideology behind bringing the Josh McDaniels in. And I hope that the Raiders can find an offensive mind to rival one of these guys. My guy, SendCal 805 with the $5 holler. I send mine's wasted. Hope you're having a good weekend. We got a heat wave going on in Cali right now. Damn, SendCal, appreciate you, my brother, for supporting the channel, keeping the lights on here at Raider Nation Unlimited. Yeah, man, look, bro, it's a heat wave all over the country, man. It's nasty out here. It was nasty out here today, man. Nasty out here, man. My guy, Philip Bourne, 76. We in the house, bro. Wasted. We are returning to the power of the dark side. You damn right, man. You are damn right. My guy, Demos, I honestly think JMD just can't trust anyone, and that's his problem. He wanted his players to be like robots, which is because Brady's best plays were often off scripted. Now, see, this is the thing, right? I'm going to be honest with you, man. Like, there are people who are book smart. There are people who are geniuses at communication, right? And there are other people who can meld all of that stuff together, right? Just because you're smart and you understand the game of football does not mean that you're a leader of men, right? So when you look for a head coach, right, I'm more so looking for someone who is a great leader, because you can kind of subcontract out the play calling aspect of things. You can subcontract that out. But a leader, a CEO coach that is not, a great play caller can go and get a great play caller. But the thing that you can't do is be able to lead. That leaders are born, man. Josh McDaniels is not a leader, man. He is not a general. He is a soldier. And that's okay. North Turner, that was his problem too. That happens around the National Football League a lot. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't realize how exceptional it is when you get a leader. So when you see that leader, you got to embrace him. And that's the reason why I'm very, very hopeful about, Antonio Pierce, man. Very, very hopeful. My guy, Lynn Smith. How you feel about Tom Brady become part owner and possibly helping the Raiders find new talent? It seemed like he would be able to help in that way. I mean, look, man, I'm not ever, I don't like when guys who are not in personnel try to make personnel decisions. I'm not with this thing with like great players. A lot of times great players are great players for a certain reason. That doesn't mean that they're great talent evaluators. I mean, Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player ever. He couldn't build a worthwhile team ever. So, I'm more so hoping that Tom Brady can be a guy that can help out in a way that Jerry West kind of could. Jerry West knew what he was looking at. He was a great executive, right? But I don't want Brady coming into the table, being a part owner and making personnel decisions. I don't want that. I think the personnel guys in the building should listen to their scouts and listen to their staff, and they should all come together and make a decision, right? I don't like that situation like with Gruden, how he wouldn't listen to his scouts and stuff. That's not what I want. And I don't want an owner from the owner's box trying to own and run the team, right? That's not what I want. If Brady becomes a part of the Raiders brand, it is what it is, right? It really makes me never mind, right? If Mark Davis feels so compelled to do business with Tom Brady, then God bless him, right? But what I don't want is I don't want him being the guy making personnel decisions. right? Now, when it comes to locating a quarterback, maybe he sees things that we don't, right? So would I listen to his input? He's one of the greatest players of all time, right? So for me, I would listen to his input and come together with a common accord with the other people in the room. But you don't want an owner, lording over the process, man. Showing thoughts. AP's greatest gift is that he's confident enough to stand in front, yet wise enough to know he doesn't know everything. That's leadership quality. And that's the thing. Good leaders know how to follow. Good leaders know how to follow too. I think a lot of times, man, when you don't have credibility as a man, you try to overcompensate and try to show that I'm the boss, right? Like me, I'm very secure in who I am as a man, right? You guys can see that in real time, right? I don't always have to, demand that I'm the guy, I'm the motherfucker in control. Because at the end of the day, there are certain situations where nobody's in control. The only thing you can control is you, right? But as a leader, you have to humble yourself and respect the talents of the guys that you're trying to lead, because they're doing something that you can't do. But see, that's a part about what Antonio Pierce and Jim Harbaugh have that guys like Josh McDaniels will never understand. They actually took live bullets in the league and was successful in this league and won in this league as a player. So when you have a guy like Antonio Pierce who has jewelry from winning as a player, and he knows what it looks like on the field, and he knows what it feels like to be a player, and he didn't play 50 freaking years ago, that is worth its weight in gold. That's the whole reason you hire personnel. You hire not for you to make all the decisions, but to give meaningful insight, and that's a fact. And like my man just said, man, that's why the Cowgirls can't get it right. That has a lot to do with it. When you have an owner that interjects himself in all the time and doesn't respect the talents of the guys around him, that's a losing formula right there. Shout out to my guy Can't Get Right. And I'm gonna be honest with you, the only owner who was ever able to do that successfully was Al, because Al was a personnel guy at his heart, at his soul. The only problem with Al is the game passed him by at the end of his life. Super Marcon, it's like Brady would be adopted into the nation to sell tickets. I just don't see him really being a part of us. But if he does own part of the Aces, yeah, I know. It's a fact. Salute to the fellas. I'm out. Delano, appreciate you for pulling up, man. It's no rush, man. It's no rush, man. But I'm going to be honest with you, man. That's what this is out. Brady can help out, acting like a pinata for the players to beat up on and get amped up for games. Oh, man, come on, bro. Come on, man. The most. We don't like the Brady with ownership. We like Brady with the sports cast. And that's a fact. Look, I'm going to be honest with you, man. Brady becoming an owner of the Raiders, man, Mark Davis will have to give him a supreme discount. A supreme discount. I don't really think he has the cash to really own a piece of one of the most valuable franchises in football. This is one of the big things that people aren't taking into account when they start talking about the Raiders coaching staff. AP has surrounded himself with like 60 years of coaching knowledge. I like the path he is choosing to be a better coach. I love it too, man. I love the fact that, he surrounded himself with guys that know what they're talking about. Now, the Raiders got some tough choices coming after this season, right? And I read an article, man, and I want to, this is the last thing we're going to get into. We're going to get out of here, man. Devontae Adams after this year is going to be owed $44 million. Now, we got to see whether Tay is going to, restructure his deal or what they're going to do, right? But a lot of people are talking about the Raiders going out there and trying to bring another receiver in or parting ways with Devontae Adams. And one of the names that was floating around in this article was Amari Cooper. I don't know how I feel about that, man. They talk about, I know a lot of people throw stuff up against the wall. I don't really do that over here, man. But the one thing I wanted to bring up is the cap number that Devontae Adams has coming up after this year, man. And how the Raiders and Aidan O'Connell, man, this is big for the Raiders, man. This is big. I think Aidan O'Connell has to throw minimum 25 touchdowns this year. Minimum. Now, to be honest with you, I don't want to see Amari Cooper back here as the number one receiver ever, right? To me, Brandon Ayuk is a guy that I would take a flyer on. I think he's a number one. He's very unhappy right now. I don't think Brandon Ayuk's going to be available to us. I think eventually the 49ers are going to come to an agreement with him, or they're going to move on from him. Franklin Skinner, he says, Amari already admitted he didn't even want to be, and he didn't like being a Raider. Yeah, that's right. F him. F him. I don't see it being a good look. My thing is, I hope that Devontae Adams, they're able to restructure Devontae Adams, and that's more so why I'm bringing this up, because look, the Raiders have a lot of tough choices to make after this season, man. You know, we have a lot of young players. We got 11 starters that are young and they're on a rookie deal, and a lot of these guys need to be re-signed, right? You know, Trayvon Marines, the Nate Hobbs of the world. We have a lot of pieces that are very important to the Raiders' future that are on rookie deals that need to be re-signed after this year. And we have the cap space. I'm glad we're not going out there spending like a bunch of drunken sailors. I love it, right? But at the end of the day, $44 million is a huge cap hit for one person, right? And the Raiders have to really, really, one, make it worth Devontae's while to restructure. And two, they got to start winning, man. They have to start putting a coherent offense on the field. Shout out to my guy Super. Yeah, I see Cooper coming back if DA leaves. They'll make a big push for a QB if AOC tits up, but we'll see. Heal all wounds. Now, I mean, I would prefer them to go out there and get somebody else. If they're going to get somebody else, I would prefer it wouldn't be him, man. But I don't think Tay's going anywhere, man. I really don't. Big deal if Aidan becomes the guy because he's on a fourth-round rookie deal. Brock Purdy vibes. That's a fact. Like, listen, the Raiders hitting on Aidan O'Connell would be monumental to us. It really reminds me more of what happened with the Patriots and Tom Brady, right? Because it was years that the Patriots were loading up. They were loading up. And one thing that they would always go into with their players is like, listen, man, Brady is one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and he hasn't been paid yet. So how can we pay you? And then after they paid him, Brady took less because he wanted to continue to win. So when you have a player like that, man, that is willing to take less or is making less, it's easier for other people to stomach. This just in. DeMar DeRozan has been signed or traded for by the Sacramento Kings, man. Shout out to my guy Graf, a big Kings fan. Man, shout out to DeMar DeRozan coming back to He's come back to California. He's a Southern California guy. Shout out to DeMar DeRozan, man, and shout out to the Kings, man. They got a formidable team, yo. You know, listen, man, hold on. DeMar DeRozan, tramp. Yo, I got to be a tramp. Get the F out of here. What are you doing here? The F out of here, Graf. The F out of here. Nah, shout out to them, man. Yo, congratulations, man. My guys, Kings, and my Knicks have been eating this offseason, man. Shout out to Graf, man. Shout out to DeMar DeRozan, man. Has some of the worst skin in human history, man. Unbelievable. Yeah, I was listening to Mac's interview with Richie Incognito, and they talked about how Gruden scheme plays for Zay. That's right. I don't know. It's way harder to find a franchise head coach and a franchise QB. Mike Tomlin constantly has them winning. I think no matter what happens at QB, AP is that dude. You know, all aboard Raiders, it is, but it isn't, right? Like, because I think those two things aren't mutually exclusive, right? A lot of the times, it's almost like those two things have to like kind of come together, because when you don't have your quarterback, right, a lot of the times that head coach does not make it, right? You look at Mike Tomlin is very, very fortunate that when he came to the Steelers, Ben Roethlisberger was already there, right? Andy Reid took that Kansas City job. He was a guy who won in Philadelphia, went to a Super Bowl, had a franchise quarterback in Donovan McNabb. He wasn't at the level that Patrick Mahomes was at, but he had his guy, right? Then he had Michael Vick. Then he left, came here, had a number one pick starting at quarterback, and they were able to tread water and make the playoffs, right? And Alex Smith, and he was able to draft his guy, right? But when you start looking at some of these guys, man, finding that quarterback is big. Like even with Sean McVay, the Sean McVay experiment would not have worked had they not had the number 1 pick and took Jared Goff, and Jared Goff took them to a certain level, and he was not able to take them past that Super Bowl level because they lost. And they went out there and they got Matthew Stafford. There are not a lot of franchise leading, winning coaches who have never located the quarterback. Like, locating the quarterback is huge, man. Huge. So I think those things are not mutually exclusive. I think they're one and the same, right? But shout out to my guy, all aboard Raiders, man. Wait a minute, what y'all talking about in here, man? My guy, John Parker, wasted. It's a hell of a show. But what's up with the right tackle, man? Bro, look, man. Thayer Munford, man. Thayer Munford. Listen, I think, there are a lot of people that say Thayer Munford's slow. There are a lot of people that say that he doesn't fit the zone concept. Thayer Munford's a big boy. I got a lot of faith in Thayer Munford. Now, he played better at left tackle last year, which was crazy in the power concept. But Thayer Munford has gotten lighter. He's gotten a little quicker. I have a lot of faith in Thayer Munford. And the thing is that we have some guys that are backing Munford up that have played meaningful snaps in this league, right? You got Pete, who's played backup left tackle. He could play right tackle. And Cody Whitehair, who's played all up and down, his offensive line. The one thing about this offensive line has depth. You know what I mean? So I am going to depend on Thayer Munford this year. I think Thayer Munford is going to have a big year. I'm depending on Dylan Parham. The guy that worries me is the rookie, right? Jackson Powers-Johnson, because he's a better center than he is a left guard. But I think that Jackson Powers-Johnson playing in between the two most seasoned guys on our line, it's going to help him exponentially, man. It's going to help him exponentially, man. I'm not so much worried about that. Yo, my guy Ty Davis got to get to work in AM. Good night, Red Nation. And the old man wasted. Shout out to y'all, man. I appreciate y'all, man. All over people act like Thayer Munford's a 10-year vet and hit the ceiling. It's only his 3rd year. Haha. Remember how bad Cohen was a rookie year? That's right. That's right. I mean, listen, Thayer Munford is a guy who at Ohio State was a terrific left tackle. Thayer Munford is a guy who, had he come out the year previous, most likely would have been 3rd, 2nd, even 1st round pick, right? You guys got to understand something. There are a lot of guys who have fallen in the draft process because of the COVID years. These drafts, in the last few drafts, man, we are getting tremendous value all up and down the league out of players in the first, in all 7 rounds. You got guys that, in previous years would have been taken a lot earlier, man. So Thayer Munford is a guy that I can't wait to watch him be locked in at right tackle, have a whole offseason, not moving up and down, not being unsure of his position, but actually getting snaps and being told, listen, this is your job. You got to man this position. I think a lot of what was done with Josh McDaniels was to the detriment of the development of some of these guys. And like my man Ben Bad just say, you don't get instant Pro Bowlers. It's rare. You got to develop these guys, right? So the one thing about some of these guys is that they were getting moved around. They weren't sure when they were going to play, how they were going to play, what place they were going to play. I think that there's something to be said about settling into your position and getting coached and having a whole offseason at your position. Yo, listen, don't come here talking about my guy, man. You will get unceremoniously blocked talking about Sanjeet. Sanjeet is my guy, man. And he is not already. He is legit, man. Get F out of here with that. You will get unceremoniously blocked. The F out of here with all of that nonsense. Shout out to my guy, Sanjeet, man. Thayer has been moved all around the line in college and as a pro. He will be fine another year under his tackle at right tackle, man. The F out of here with that. But guys, listen, man, we've been going at this an hour. It's been great to tap back in with the nation, man. We're going to be rocking and rolling. I got to come back this week, crafting some shows, man. We got our little all over the place, but, man, we needed this, didn't we, man? We needed this, man. We're going at this an hour, man. I'm going to go watch the fight. I'm going to go to my homeboy house. We're going to watch the fight, have a good time, man. You guys have a terrific night. And I'm going to go root for the Newark native, the Jersey native, Brick City's own, Shakur Stevenson, man. You guys have a terrific night, man. Shout out to everybody in the room, man. Wait, my man, James Lawson, man. To talk that football talk, ways to keep doing your thing, bro. Appreciate you, James, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Y'all have a terrific, terrific night. And listen, I'm going to tell y'all something, too, man. Y'all already know, man. Y'all already freaking know, man. I mean, do I got to say it? Because you guys know what I'm going to say, man.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Damn right. It went through the damn roof, y'all. We are out of here, man. I will see y'all throughout the week, man. Y'all have a terrific night, man. Peace.